largest ever crackdown internally on any outfit which was engaging in activities that were hurtful to the country. Anti-India activities. It's a massive crackdown on the organization that is PF5. 13 states, 106 locations across the country that have been tapped, and more than 100 office bearers who have been arrested so far. A lot of them have already been produced in court. Many of them across the country who've been arrested will now be brought into the national capital after transit remand has been procured. Now, major recoveries of incriminating evidence have been made. Multiple accused have been produced, like I said, in court. CNN News 18 has also accessed the NIA FIR based on which search operations were conducted. The FIR cites conspiracy to wage war against the government of India. 2 cases have been lodged under UAPA. But the Enforcement Directorate, 40 officers have also gotten out on the streets to try and crack down on the various activities. Bank accounts have been frozen. Huge amounts of cash has also been seized. But so there are cases that are registered even under PMLA. So let's try and see, get an understanding of this entire pan-India crackdown. It's a mega pan-India crackdown, multi-agency raids which have been conducted. The states that have been covered or where raids have been conducted: Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Karnataka, Telangana, Delhi, Rajasthan. There are Uttar Pradesh and of course Bihar and Maharashtra. These are the states where the Manipur, Assam also has seen raids. So it's as good as a pan-India crackdown which has happened on the various wings, outfits of the PFI and its, of course, subsidiaries and sister organizations. So it's a pan-India crackdown that's happened. Let's try and get you the inside scoop. How this was all planned. More than 3 months in planning, weeks of recce and targeting the locations of those who were the key people who needed to be arrested. And of course, it all started midnight yesterday and into the wee hours today. Step 1 was a pan-India raids that were planned 3 months ago. Then then all locations were verified. Targets were checked nearly a week ago to determine their exact locations. The government monitored the preparations of the raids very closely with the IB director, the NSA, the NIA DG, all present in the control room 1 a.m. onwards. The raids teams to non-BJP states were attached with the CRPF. State police helped wherever it is in BJP-ruled states. NIA teams, including the DG in the control room since 12 a.m., like I said. And, of course, IB in the control room, monitored by Director Tapan Deka, who was present. NSA Ajit Doval was also there, along with at the control room from 1 a.m. onwards. And very clearly, well thought out, comprehensive crackdown, with the ED also giving support and cracking down on those who are involved in the financial irregularities aspect. Ananya now joins us with more details. Ananya, it's been a rainy day, but it's also in Delhi, but it's also rained a crackdown on the PFI.
Yes, Anand, and I would like to say that it's a raining, in fact, knockdown on these terror outfits like the Popular Front of India, and a massive operation being conducted by the National Investigation Agency. More than 100 arrests, particularly pan-India operations going out in all states almost, and a big crackdown on such a terror outfitter, because remember that PFI has been under the scanner of the government for a very long time, whether it's the hijab protests in Karnataka, whether it is with regards to other states in Uttar Pradesh. PFI links were drawn not only in the CAA protests but also in the recent protest over Nupur Sharma's remarks. A lot of PFI angles coming in fact in various other crimes of Uttar Pradesh also PFI links have been drawn. In the Udaipur killings, PFI links were drawn. And now the government thought of going full-blown against this organization, because remember, it is still not a banned organization, but the kind of probe we see, the kind of investigation that is being conducted by the NIA, we might also see that sooner or later this organization is banned by, in fact, the government of India. But a very, very big operation being conducted by the National Investigation Agency, being monitored by the NSA himself. So we can see how crucial this, in fact, operation was, that the NSA and other important people were actually monitoring this whole probe. Targets were logged at least a week ago, all locations checked, and a very, very clean operation being conducted by, in
Right.
fact, the National Investigation Agency and the other enforcement agencies taking
Well,
place.
so
Anand.
far, how many people, how many of the PFI members have been brought into court in Delhi? Are all those who've been
Well, in the
arrested, will they all be
national-
brought
in
to
the
Delhi?
national- Well, as far as we know that at this moment of time, as we speak, almost 18 people have been brought inside the Patiala House courtroom. Special NIA judge, in fact, Shailendra Malik would be hearing the remand application that the NIA would be seeking. Remember
Right.
that only 3 people were arrested from the national capital, and what we are given to understand is that the other 15 that would be produced would be from the other states, from the neighboring
Right.
states, and for the states from where a transit remand is necessary, the same would be done, and then only they would be produced before the
They
National
will be
Capital
produced.
Court.
So it
But a
could
very,
happen
very
between
crucial
today,
day, 18
this
people
evening, and
here.
also the next morning. And of course tomorrow morning, Ananya, I've got Ashish Merishi, so we'll talk about the financial angle. Ashish, Ananya is saying so far 18 people have been produced at the Patiala House Court, 3 arrests in Delhi, but 15 people are from other states who have already been brought in. Transit remand is being sought. But the ED has also been active. They went and sealed the Nhava Sheva office, beg your pardon, Navi Mumbai office of the PFI. There were documents that were seized there. Money laundering case on the people, the arrests that have happened in Delhi. Take us through the details. Where has the ED been involved?
So, if you remember a few months back, we broke the story about the ED charge sheet.
Yes.
And, when we went through the content of the charge sheet, it was very much visible, Anand, that this organization is bound to get banned. Because the kind of activities they were involved in, the kind of money they were collecting, it is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
It is around 120 crore rupees that came into their bank accounts through various routes, including Hawala channels. And that all that money has been used in various activities. If you go through the content of the charge sheet, it says, the money was used for anti-CA protest, inciting violence during the Delhi riots. Then they were also using social media, so money was being spent there as well. There were posters related to Babri Masjid. That was also, if you remember, that was circulated. The money was again used there. There was, for NRC and Common Civil Code, again, they were basically protest and, money was being used. Even for Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar. These activities have been identified. There are so many examples till now. I'll give you one example which says that, in Kaleem Pasha, he's supposed to be the SDPI, which is supposed to be the sister concern of PFI. He received, and there is a Chinese angle, because he received around 5 lakh rupees from a Chinese company into his bank account, and then this company is named Jump Monkey Promotions India. This basically is a Chinese company. For no rhyme or reason, money was paid, and that money was basically used for terror activities. There is another example where, there is the UPATS arrested a person called Kaleem Pasha, and, he was caught with IEDs, pistol, live cartridges. So obviously there was terror angle into it, and around 3.5 lakh rupees went from PFI into his personal bank account. So there's not only one example that you're talking about, there are numerous examples. And more importantly, Anand, money has been coming from various countries: UAE, Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. All these countries, money is collected in cash, then it comes through Hawala channels into India. From there the money is submitted into various bank accounts. In fact, 600 individuals have been identified. 2,600 bank accounts, they have gone through, and then they identified that this basically money comes through Hawala channel. Small amounts are submitted into these bank accounts, and further it is shown as donations. So there are various ways and means to get this money, and ultimately using it for PFI activities, nefarious PFI activities, which are basically anti-national.
You've been tracking the financial crimes and also the financial departments or the wing of the government that cracks down on it. Have they done a thorough job? Because these charges will have to stand the test of legal scrutiny. And I keep repeating this, that PFI has got a very strong legal battery. They've got money and they've got a legal battery in place that uses the law to help them and then turns around to subvert the same law.
So that is what I'm saying. There are examples. That is why a person who's caught with live cartridges, a pistol, an IED, and the money is coming from PFI for all this. So there are examples that they,
which they will try and prove and say that there's a clearly subversive
Yeah,
activities
yeah.
and interest of India was being compromised.
Yeah, and